I'll tell you a story today. Not about a billionaire, not about a celebrity, not about someone who conquered the world, but about an ordinary man living in an ordinary town whose life transformed in the most extraordinary way when he discovered the power of kindness. Daniel Parker was a young man from Ohio. If you saw him 5 years ago, you might not remember his face. He blended into the background. He worked in a small hardware store, punching in at 9, punching out at 5, and going home to an empty apartment. Life had not been kind to him. His father had walked away when he was a child. His mother worked herself to exhaustion just to pay rent and put food on the table. By the time Daniel was in his mid 20s, he carried something heavy inside him: bitterness. You know, the kind of bitterness that makes you look at the world and think, why does everyone else get ahead while I am stuck here? That was Daniel. He showed up at work, but never with joy. He did his job, but never with heart. Customers saw him as cold, distant, uninterested, and when he went home at night, scrolling through social media, seeing friends post pictures of vacations, weddings, new jobs, he felt a hole in his chest grow deeper. He believed his life was destined to stay small. But one ordinary night, something happened. It was a cold November evening. Daniel was closing the store, ready to go home, when an elderly woman walked in. She needed help carrying heavy bags of nails and paint to her car. Daniel's first reaction: frustration. Why now? Why me? Why every time me? It's late and I just want to go home. But then something unexpected stirred inside him. Suddenly, a quiet whisper: just help her. Daniel, just help her. Please, Daniel, just help her. So, for the first time in years, Daniel did something different. At this time, he carried her bags. He opened the car door for her. When it started to rain, he even took off his jacket and covered her groceries. The woman looked at him with such gratitude. She smiled and said, "Young man, you have no idea how much this means to me. I'll remember your kindness. I'll never forget this kindness." That night, Daniel went home with something he hadn't felt in years: peace. He had no gained money or a promotion or recognition, but he felt warm, fulfilled, alive. He hadn't felt in years. After this experiment of kindness, the next day, Daniel thought to himself, what if I tried that again? And so he began a quiet experiment. He smiled at customers. He held the door open for strangers. He said, "Thank you," with sincerity, and "Have a good day," with real warmth. At first, people were shocked. Some even thought he was joking. But soon, something magical began to happen. Customers came back asking for him by name. His boss noticed the change and gave him more responsibility. His co-workers respected him more. And outside of work, Daniel decided to give his weekends to something bigger than himself. He started volunteering at a local food pantry. A ripple effect occurs. At the food pantry, Daniel saw people with struggles far greater than his own. Instead of feeling envy, he felt gratitude. Instead of feeling invisible, he felt connected. And here's what happens when you give kindness: it multiplies. Every time it multiplies. Daniel made friends. After very long time, he made friends. People started inviting him to dinners, barbecues, holidays gatherings. He was no longer the lonely man sitting in his apartment, jealous of others. He had community now. He had purpose. He had friends. He had reason of smile. He had reason of enjoyment. After that, 1 year later, Daniel's life looked unrecognizable. He was promoted to manager at the hardware store. People in town no longer saw him as good. They called him the guy with the big heart. He even met someone special, Sarah, a school teacher he met through volunteering. And one evening, sitting around a campfire with friends and Sarah by his side, Daniel realized something profound. He had spent years chasing success the wrong way. He thought success was money, titles, or recognition. But success had finally come to him, and it came through something simple, something free, something powerful, something different. It came through kindness. Friends, Daniel's story is not just his story, it can be our story too. We live in a world that tells us to fight harder, work longer, earn more, compete endlessly. But what if the real key to a successful life is not what we take, but what we give? Daniel discovered a truth that we all need to remember. Kindness is not weakness. Kindness is strength. Kindness is not small. Kindness is transformational. When you choose kindness, you don't just change someone else's day, you change the entire direction of your own life. So I leave you with this. The next time you feel invisible, stuck, or overlooked, try kindness. Hold the door, smile at a stranger, offer your help with no expectation of reward. Because you never know, that small act of kindness might just be the turning point, the moment when your life, like Daniel's, begins to transform. Thank you.